I'm looking forward to this one for multiple reasons, but yeah, I just want to introduce to you guys a great author, a young man, inspiring, and I use the word inspiring with meaning. I don't use that word lightly. An inspirational young man who has come into the game and done for me exactly what he said he would do, and the title of his first book is exactly what he still has. So I would like to introduce Kevin Munga, author of Young Black Males Have Potential and Who Am I? I was saying I wouldn't tell a young person that it's cool to write or to read. Especially not cool to read, even though I'm trying to use this to encourage young people to read. I'll be honest with them. It's not cool to read. At times it can feel frustrating. It's like when you start banging weights. It's hard, it hurts. But once you've finished, you're happy with the results. And once you've maintained a certain muscle memory, it's not as hard to lift the 20k this week as it was 3 years ago. And that becomes your natural weight, whatever it is you're lifting, because you're, and that's the same with writing. So I wouldn't say writing is cool, I wouldn't lie. Writing is, it's a form, reading, I wouldn't say reading. So reading is a form of a way for young people to escape the world that they live in, just like when you listen to music, and go into another world. But it's also a way to learn things. So I don't want to give them the impression that reading's cool, and because I've never found it cool. There's some cool books out there, you know, and the meaning of the word cool is, I suppose, to not be so educated, to not be intelligent. So I don't want them to think that cool is kind of lackadaisical, not too bothered, not sure. I don't want them to think it's cool. I think that what reading will do is they'll find that they'll become so much more stronger in the mind, and understanding, and probably more empathetic, and probably more knowledgeable, and probably more able to read other things in life that they'll have to read because they're familiar with exercising that muscle, like application forms or knowing the law or whatever it is, because they read rather than just watch. So reading is very necessary in today's day and age. In the time when we wasn't allowed to read, it was a punishment, and it was to do things so we couldn't understand the contract. It was intentional that we wouldn't read to be educated enough to understand things. So my thing is, no, arm yourself with reading. It doesn't have to be cool. Arm yourself with knowledge so you can move in the world, in the literary world, and understand things that are written. And I encourage myself that. I'm still encouraging myself to read. And not just books, articles, research papers, newspapers, just not any nonsense newspaper either, Daily Mail, the Independent, the ones with the writing that isn't from our language, that isn't from our background. So this is just encourage reading on any level. The Bible, in the context in which I don't understand, just to see if I can start understanding. And that's it, really. Just encourage young people to read, because reading is the key to knowledge. Doesn't make you mean you'll be smart. It's the key to knowledge, because you have to implement that knowledge. Once you have the wisdom to do that as well. So just keep reading. And where you see a book now that you read that same book 10 years ago, you'll pick up something completely different, and maybe see it from a more mature perspective than you would have seen it 10 years ago. So reading is crucial to be on point, and that's what I was thinking. Not just the young people, because let's not put ownership on young people. All the time is young people reading books. I know so many people that have bought books and just have them in their bookshelf. I'm guilty of that myself. But I know so many people have done it and tell me that they don't read books at all. You've got a bookshelf full of books. Yeah, but I've never read it.
So much knowledge you're sitting on. Yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, no, I think that, but even going back to the cool, like even redefining the word, if possible, like just to show young people that it is appealing, because And I love the analogy you gave, like when you're banging wigs, you hate every second of it, but then you become good at it, and then you're acclimatized, isn't it? We're acclimatized to everything. And so just acclimatizing to that and seeing that, because there's one thing I always say, like, you don't sacrifice for what you want or what you want to know. What you want to know becomes the sacrifice.
It's crazy you should say that. Powerful.
Do you get me? So understanding that it's important, because the benefits are more important than sacrificing what you can get from the benefits.
So cool. I look forward to a question about your publication. I'm looking at these books and I'm seeing that they were self-published, correct?
Yes.
Independent author.
Yeah.
So, did you try to find a publisher?
If I'm honest, not with the first book, because as I said, the first book there was insecurity. So for the first book, I just felt like,
put it out there.
Yeah, they ain't no one else for me. Like, I just want to put out my expression.
The esteem was that low. That's mad,
yeah.
Especially considering the title. The title was Young Black Males Have Potential.
But in this field,
you couldn't see it within yourself at the time within the field, you're saying?
Not within the field. I knew that I mastered the topics about what I'm talking about because of the research I did and because I was a student. However, I didn't think there was a publishing firm that would want that. And then funny enough, releasing it 2 years later, I got a publishing deal to revise the first book. So that alone was
that's funny, sorry.
a revelation.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that alone was a revelation. You know what I mean? And
so you offered a publishing deal for the first book 2 years later.
To revise it.
The same one you had self-doubts about.
Same one. The same one.
And the book's called Young Black Males Have Potential. Cool. Just to remind you to yourself, that's what I said. Moving on. I hear you, man. I'm joking, but I totally feel the same way, so I can't.
Yeah.
Just to let people understand the level of. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I was echoing what you're saying. Like, just to be real, it wasn't like I wrote it and then I knew this is going to know. I didn't even think it was good enough to be out. Yeah. But yeah, that's what it is.
Cool. Did you ever feel like your book was being prejudged because of the title or your name or the cover?
Yes and no, because you're going to get your quote-unquote pro-black audience automatically, like you get parents. And when I'm saying quote-unquote, it's because sometimes you have people that are acting as if they're pro-black because there was a certain era that it came out in. It was 2017. It was a buzzword to be pro-black. It was good to be associated to being pro-black. You got your genuines, but you have your those that want to be attached. That people like to be attached to what's successful.
For sure.
And there was a lot of that.
And attention.
So there was that, but then I was prejudged.
Sorry, there's so much.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, sorry, my mind just drifted.
And so there was that, but prejudgment was the book. When the book started doing what it was supposed to do, that I didn't think it would do, I had jumpers with the title. Okay. So I was walking to uni with the title of the book on my jumper. And I remember there was a librarian or a person that worked in our library, and she said, "You're an author." Someone asked. No, I was speaking with a friend and they were like, "You're an author, what?" The person overheard and they were like, "You're lying, you're not an author." Like, and I was like, "Why not?" Like, what, you know? And then I think, you know, when the person realizes it's awkward, actually, why can't he be an author? What, the imagery doesn't suggest that he's an author, so he's not an author. And so someone else came over. I think he was like an IT guy. I was like,
what does an author look like?
What is it? He overheard us and he was just like, "Oh, what are you guys talking about?" He's like, "He's an author." And whatnot. The guy was like, "He could be, you know." And then he's like, "What's the title?" I think it was a middle-aged white man, maybe in 40s, maybe 50s. And then I said, "This is the title of the book." And I kid you not, he didn't say nothing. He looked at the title and walked away. Okay. So these are some of the experiences at the beginning, and I realized that we have. I remember you have to be bold to do that because I'm walking on the train.
Why do you think he walked away? You obviously being judged by the title.
I believe that he's either intimidated by the title, or it was an expression. It was him expressing the fact that he was displeased by the fact that I believe that I should be able to come to this country, reap the benefits, come to a uni like this, and be sarcastic by saying that you guys have put light on us to say that we don't have potential. And I believe that was the expression. Obviously, that's me now.
Could it just be that he was a
Thinking about
racist? You reckon?
That could just be the.
That's just
that could be the.
Over deep. I'm just like potentially the fact that young black males have potential makes them feel uncomfortable. Like why do they? It's a form of racism.
It's a form.
Sorry, prejudice. Sorry, racism is not.
It's a form of racism.
Prejudice.
There's a lot.
Who knows what it is and what the reasons are, but that's what I meant when I asked you.
I think that's the one worded answer. The wider scope would be what, from my take anyway, from my perspective, the way he came over and he looked at that and he just thought that another one blaming his current situations on the world, the race card. So there's a lot to it, I think.
Right, for numerous reasons, they find it therapeutic and all the rest of it. Do you feel like writing is a victim to your mental health positively or negatively?
I would say it impacted. No, not impacted. It influenced my mental health positive, because it's a form of expression, and it was therapeutic. It was therapeutic because the topics I'm writing about, I'm passionate about. It's not an admin role, and I know I have to do this for some sort of benefits. Like I could have made no money from the books and been happy to write about what I was writing about, because going back to the beginning, if it's birthed from necessity, then I don't see why you wouldn't appreciate what you're writing about. Now, on another hand, it's a memoir as well, the second book. So you're revisiting certain poignant moments, and yes, of course, there's things that can take you back to a certain place that you didn't like back in the day or in the past. However, that being said, going through that pain and being enabled to write it was freeing me. Because I was like, cool, if I write about it once, then I could speak about it a second time and then a third time. Because I spoke about some things which I'm not going to talk about. But it did help in that sense. There's certain things of my childhood that I've spoken about that were harsh. But writing about it, I was taken away from that negative experience. So, yeah, that's my answer to you. So it's been positive for me tonight.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been positive.
How did you promote your books when you did you do a book launch? How was the process of that? Did people get to hear about you?
Yeah, man, I didn't promote properly at all. Didn't promote properly until I started reaching out to people on Facebook. I had a partner at the time who believed in the book, and she was just checking who can take it on. So she reached out to New Beacon soon, and that's how we actually met.
Ronaldo?
Huh?
Did you meet down there, Ronaldo?
Vanessa.
Okay, Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Vanessa.
So that was what, that opened the door for many, many things. And from that, there was a ripple effect. I was putting in a news article in The Guardian, from The Guardian, Russia Today, from Russia Today, BBC London Live. So, yeah, it wasn't personal. I had someone promote it. That's what helped it. That's what I would say.
Cool. Well, I hope this platform allows this book to get read by many more, because, well, to talk about, I said that book, but these books, but this book I definitely can vouch for. And who am I? I'm sure it's better than, not better, I don't like to say better, I'm sure your writing has improved since Young Black Man's Had Potential, so I'm looking forward to digging into this. And you said this is my copy, so I can't take this.
You already claimed it.
It's not been signed yet, but yeah, that will come. Yeah, what was the book review you received that meant the most to you in terms of your first book?
Tough one, because you're giving me only one. One review.
Oh, okay. Let's make
So the reviews.
No, I want to know the one that
The best one, yeah.
Yeah, well,
Cool.
not the best. The one that meant the most.
Meant the most.
The best, yeah. Just meant
One that meant the most was.
That's why I'm leaving it as to one, because sometimes it's not. I don't think there's a best or worst. It's just ones that really resonate with you and say, yo, that was it.
The one that meant the most is controversial. Was a senior lawyer asking if it was me that wrote it.
A senior lawyer.
Senior lawyer who had read it multiple times, and then when asked who wrote it, they said it's a young man, South London, 24. She's like, you have to be lying. It must be a professor that wrote it. So that was.
Go back to judging a book by its author.
Yeah. That's why I said controversial, because it's like, why can't it be a 24-year-old? But for someone that doubted the quality and the extent of the research, for a senior lawyer to say
it was a feel-good moment.
It was a feel-good moment. So for me, that's what meant the most.
For sure, I see why that.
That review.
Tell me your favourite. You don't want to tell me the one that meant the most. Tell me your favourite.
My favourite.
Best, let's see.
My favourite review is it was physical. It happened physically. So young man walking through Croydon, young man stops me and goes, "Your book, bro, like your book meant a lot to me. Like your book really."
You said that about this book.
Yeah, about the first one. Stopped me. So that
young black
will never leave me. And then another young man who reached out to me on Instagram and said, "Your book made you want to stop trapping." But I think those are the key. There's been a lot, but those two, because that's the one person that said it actually stopped me from doing something I'm currently doing. And the young man saying, stopping me in the street. So I think they're the two favourite reviews. Yeah, they're the two favourite reviews.
So my brother, do you have any more books in mind that you plan to write in the future that you want to talk about? You don't have to talk about them, but I'm just glad to know that you're still writing after writing, if you don't mind. But yeah, I would like to see more from you personally. And it's not about quantity as such. I just know that you've got more. What's the
my mind is? I'm still growing.
Fire in the tank.
Yeah.
And you've got, I can't explain it about you. When I met you, you've got more, you have, you're quick to learn and quick to teach. I think you've got a lot more to learn to teach, and I'm ready to be a student in your school and learn whatever else you've got to say, and just even read your books that are not educational, read your books that are just stories, novels. I'm looking for it.
That's big, because touche in it. Like I'm planning to write my first novel. To venture out. I've had 2 non-fictions now, self-help, and it's on bullying. So that one is going to be a good one. But it's fiction. It's fiction.
Okay.
It's fiction, but it's not, because as I said, it's not your typical sci-fi or fantasy. But it's made up. It's fabricated. But it's going to touch on bullying. It's going to touch on colorism. It's going to touch on retaliation. There's a spin to it. I don't want to give too much away, but
yeah. I don't want you to give too much.
yeah. But that one's good, and I'm going to take longer to release that one. So
who inspires you? UK as well, UK-wise authors. I'm trying to talk about our black UK and even white UK. I don't really, I'm not one for, like you say, colorism. I'm not bothered about colour. Who inspires you?
UK authors.
UK authors.
There's always yourself.
Love, bro.
Which was a big inspiration. Yeah.
Humbled every time I hear someone say something like that.
You got to give the flowers, man. I mean, it's not even it's on camera, so that's why none of that.
You said.
By the way, just to let people know, Robin didn't tell me to say me as well.
I didn't pay you.
He didn't pay me that. But you're definitely someone on my writing journey that came across your book, and I was just like, prisons, the streets, and I saw the puppets, and I was like.
Oh, you saw that cover?
Yeah. That cover, just the cover alone, was appealing. And then from working in Cookerwood as a facilitator and a coordinator and running programming, and the young people to come out on the landing and say, "Yeah, man, was reading Prisoner to the Streets yesterday," or "It's on our tablets." I was like, "This is big. This is big. Wow, we got our books in prison."
And was that what before you was right?
No, so before writing and in the midst, after, post writing as well.
I'm thinking Prison to the Street. Did I meet you before? I met you after Prison to the Street came out.
Yeah, you met me after.
Met me after.
So I came across your work, and then we worked on.
I feel like I've known you all my life, though.
Right, isn't it?
Wait. That's what I have to think about. What did I? Yeah, it was after Prison.
That's how it is sometimes. I even forget that we only met at that event.
Yeah.
But it seems like
It's,
we met
it's
before.
connective paths as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it feels like it aligns itself.
Yeah.
So,
So
who else inspires you out here, man?
UK author Mallory as well. Mallory Blackman, but I haven't read her work. I would say maybe just the heights. Like I'm someone I give props in it to who's achieved, who set out to do something and achieved it. As I said, I haven't read no Nooks and Crosses, I haven't read it, but I could just see that you're a black woman and you've achieved something. So I wouldn't say there's many UK authors that have inspired me.
You feel there's a lane for a black renaissance for ourselves to come and take over, and I say take over, like you said, there isn't really that's what the renaissance is about, creating a group of writers to express. Do you think there's room for us yet, or do you think that everyone still kind of wants the limelight to themselves and not ready to do this path of unison and work as one, or too much competitive in the nature? How do you feel it going? So when we have a conversation in 10 years' time, do you feel like you're going to be like, yeah, this is where I wanted to see the state of writing? Or
I think this is the stop. Things like this, your platform. Do you get what I mean? Yeah, because we got street podcasts. We got thousands. I can go on YouTube now and you got so many. But how many black platforms endorsing books and speaking to black authors do you have? So.
And you know, the funny thing you saying, I was speaking to myself, regardless of how well or successful or unsuccessful, whatever you term is successful, this does as a platform, I won't stop it. Because I know that lots of people don't buy into platforms. Like this conversation, I'm like, you know what? I ain't going to stop it because of that. That's not a reason for me to stop it. It's no reason for me to continue. Because sometimes it's not the size of the audience following you, it's the quality. Again, that's why I want to know what else you're writing. A lot of authors want to just say I've done 10 books because they say I've done 10 books. The quality of your writing and the involvement of your mind to even get to that place to write the book. That's why I said, why did you write the book? Yeah, all of that being said, you've answered most of my questions, if not all of them, man, and it's been a massive conversation to have with you. I want to know what your advice is to the next generation. What advice would you give to anyone younger writing wanting to come up and being over?
Creative writers, what I would say is there's so many, there's hurdles, but the first hurdle is they start with a mind first. You've got writer's block.
You believe in writer's block?
Yeah. I believe in writer's block. I believe in just even fighting yourself first to get yourself to write, because I've had young writers say, I want to write, but I don't know if it's going to be good. And that's something that I had coming up. So believing in yourself, you just need an expression. It doesn't have to be perfect. I believe that the expression had to be perfect. Just right.
I think everyone does that.
Also, fall in love with the process and don't focus too much on the product itself and what it's going to do. Because if you focus on the process, you're going to give out the best of you, and no one can fault you for giving the best of you and that you've given us. So in that being said, if you want to write,
completely agree,
and give the best of yourself. And no one can fault you for giving the best of yourself. That's what I would say for all the creatives out there that want to write. Yeah.
For me, if I'm holding a pen on a piece of paper, unless there's no ink, I can write. I could write a whole heap of nonsense, but I'm not ever blocked from writing. I can even write, I have writer's block. I don't know what to write. I'm so fed up of having writer's block. I don't know how to break this. That's writing. So, you said it starts in the mind, and I agree. You can get mental block, or can have emotional blocks. You can have confidence as a blogger. All these different types of blogs. But for me, you can't have writing blogs. So for me, I make sure that I don't limit myself to the statuses that people have put upon us, and I want young people to know there is no block. Just get your mind in a place where you put your guard down and you like the things that you said. You're writing not to think how much it's going to sell. You're writing because you're expressing it from the best place inside you, and you get the best results from that. Not with looking at before I write, is this perfect? Are they going to like that line? Are they going to not like that line? And that's how you can finish a book. All the people that always ask, so how do you complete a book? Well, like you said, just write. Don't second guess it. So, last question to you is basically, is there anything you want to say?
I think, yeah, the only thing would be like, they got this platform. Your second guest on there.
I love, bro. Thanks for coming down, man. So
big up the platform. I want to big up the fact that initiatives, a lot of people have things in their mind that they don't materialize. You materialize something, you started something. We're trusting the process. We're not looking at how many even views are going to come from it, but we're looking at what you started today, and this is going to be part of history. This platform.
Something I've learned, I have to touche to that. I have to say, once you start something, I think usually with me it was frustration of who's it reaching. But something like this, I'm like, you know what? Once it's done, it's off my to-do list. There's something I was meant to do years ago. Everyone said I'll do a book podcast, and I was like, I'm writing. I can't juggle writing. I'm like, you know what? That's exactly what I need for myself, to be on a platform where I can be heard. And although I'm inviting other people on to talk more about themselves than I am about myself, I'm like, you know what? It's still a platform for those people to really flesh out what they want to say about their books, rather than it being a quick 5-minute interview and on the live like we've both been on, and it's a bit frustrating. You come on, you mic up. It takes longer to mic up than it does to talk. So my thing is like, let's have a
quickly like post on, by the way, Kevin, good luck.
And that's it.
You have to move on swiftly.
By the time it gets more views on when you post it on social media than it would have got when in real time. Because so how much people are able to sit down and say, oh, that's an author I want to check out. How much people have got the Sky or rewind, where you can rewind and say, oh, his name was Kevin Munga and X, Y, Z. So it's little things like that. So for me, it's like, let's give ourselves a platform. We've done it now. This is season 1. I'm humbled that you're here. I'll be calling you back again. You know that's going to happen. And I give you as well. I'll give you a year and see where you're at next year. And we'll continue the process and we'll continue the conversations. And where can people find you? Last thing I want to say. Thank you for coming in again, bro.
No, man, pleasure that you put me in your list. I'm funny.
We both seem to be, what I find very humbling is we both seem to see it the same way. So you're humbled by that, and I'm humbled by you coming down, taking time out, and just being you, just being the essence of wanting to. So I think anyone who wants, I put a post up the other day by Maya Angelou about anything. Anybody who wants to make a world a better place is a hero in my eyes. Something going on. And I believe that I know a lot of heroes. And I want to give those heroes the room to show that, you know, this is me when I'm not Clark Kent. This is actually my superpowers here, which is creative. And I feel like that should be shared as well. So congratulations. But where can people find you, bro?
Personal website, www.kevinmunga.com, at kevinmunga_.com. So Instagram. And TikTok, no new generation now. TikTok,
I'm not with that either. I'm not really up to date with all of that. But
TikTok transcends inspiration, and you'll see me going to school.
Every time I hear TikTok, sorry to cut you, it reminds me of Tic Tacs. I just think of the sweets of orange and green. All I see is orange and green. Every time I say TikTok, I'm like, what? Mints.
That's a TikTok.
And I know I'm showing my age, but
TikTok. To be fair, I struggled. I still struggle with it now. That it just showed me going into schools and making the world a better place.
So you're going to schools as well?
Going into schools, we're facilitating.
So on the website, can people find you to come in to do that kind of work?
Yes. Come find me on the website.
Anything else you want to let people know you're doing, where they can find you to access your services?
Yeah, so my services, what we're doing is we're doing professional training on county lines, child criminal exploitation, and then we're doing school assemblies and facilitating on crime, CCE, so child criminal exploitation, child sexual exploitation.
That's very important.
And gangsterism in general.
Yeah, very important.
That's what we're doing.
Cool. Any episodes?
No, that's it, man.
I paid
Back-
my
back to
decorator and
it.
don't because get I'm joking. This is good. Doing it all right. I said that jack of all trades. No, it's good. It's good. It's good, man. I love it, man. It's inspiring, like I said, to see someone even younger come up with the fire. And I had the fire to go into schools at one stage, and to see that, I don't know, it's weird. It's not passing on the baton, but it is, but it's not because I'm still not old enough to be passing on the baton. If that makes sense. I'm still running in my race and focusing on my race. So. Yeah, man, I'm just humbled. The same way you say you're humbled, I'm humbled for you being here, coming to the space. You understand my work office here right now. Come down to the office, and I'm grateful for you being here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to what's next. So people, you know where to find Kevin Munga. This is Kevin Munga. Young black males have potential. Real mind. We heard it here first. Yeah, can you sign my copy as well? Yeah, peace out, bro. Blessings, man. Any last words?
Blessings. Yeah, to the people, man, just keep striving, man. Keep striving. Like Robin gratefully said, yeah, it's all in the mind, and if you get the mind right, you'll be able to achieve whatever you want. Just put your mind to it, and don't think of the product too tough and the result. Think of the process, and within that process, even if the product isn't necessarily what you wanted in the end, subconsciously you built something within that process. So just keep striving, people. Yes.
Love, brother. Thank you, man. Dope. We out.